Hello, beautiful souls. Victoria Mador here from Soul Healing Tribe, and today I want to talk about numerology. A few years ago, I had an experience with Ursula Freda, and I was learning the portals and how the energies have to move through the electromagnetic field in order for them to adhere to the auric field that we have when we mount. And anyways, that was a while ago, but that's how I started getting really interested in numerology, because when I had this vision, there was like a matrix kind of look, like binary codes that I saw as part of this vision, and it got me interested. And then when I went to get my hang of Urmila, I became even more fascinated with numerology because, Ifa is basically quantum physics when we really think about it. When we are learning the IFA chapters, the volumes, and so on, the odus, we're really learning to use binary codes. So, and I just find that completely fascinating. So everything started with Ursula Freda. And I think I did a video very briefly that many people didn't understand what I was talking about because I didn't really explain. And I think a lot of people are when it comes to some of these things with some of these mysteries, a lot of people, what they know is what they know and they don't deviate from it. So a lot of people that are very close-minded when it comes to some of these concepts. So anyway, went into numerology thinking there is something here that I need to understand. And the more I went into it, the deeper I got. And I started reading a lot of books on IFA, the quantum mechanics behind the numbers and how they are, 16 volumes that have all of these different chapters when you do the combinations of the different numbers. So you end up with 256 odus. And basically what I see with IFA, numerology, and this quantum mechanics, this was channel information to the elders, to the ancestors, right? And if you go into ancient times, the wise priests and priestesses, the oracles, the sages, they had numerology information, wisdom that they passed down over and over. I mean, that's how we get here today, right? We have pretty much this much compared to what they used to have. But the more that you meditate and you go deeper into it, the more answers you can pull and the more awareness you can have about this number. So when we have records of the Chinese and the Vedic numerology, and if you study the Western numerology, you're also going to get pretty good understanding of how important these numbers are. But when I think about IFA, I think IFA is one of the ones that have the biggest. It's just fascinating because the 256 combinations are mind-blowing. When we go and do the I Ching, is basically 81 combinations, and also with the Vedic numerology, you have all of those combinations that are more advanced than the Western numerology. So when we talk about all of these numerology options, all of that information was channeled. Even the I Ching was channeled information. And why I'm saying that is because I want people to understand that channeling information is common. If somebody has it, another person can get it, right? Because you're channeling the information. So when it comes to IFA, unless you're a babalao, you're not supposed to be pulling odus for anyone. So obviously that was not an option for me. So I had to go into the next option, right? Which is Western numerology and Eastern numerology, basically Vedic and the I Ching. So here I am today. And I'm sorry, I have throat pain issues, so it's a little hard to speak. So when we think about what is there for us when it comes to numerology? They are hidden lessons, challenges, life mission, life purpose, soul mission that we can pull from numerology. And I'm sure a lot of people know this, but some people might not know this, which is why I'm going over this information. So just stay to the end so you can get the most out of this video if you already know some of these things. So like I said, in IFA, we have the volumes, the chapters that make the odus, right? The symbolism for the different odus. Some people believe that the I Ching came from Yoruba. And some people believe that the IFA volumes came from the I Ching. So whichever way it is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are lucky to have this powerful wisdom that the ancestors left for all of us to use. So with the I Ching, you don't have to be initiating to any specific type of culture or spiritual practice in order for you to know how to do the to read what happens in the grid. So you can be from, in my case, Dominican, and be able to work and really pull answers in regards to the I Ching and do the calculations. So same thing with Vedic numerology. You don't have to be Indian to be able to do this, which is not the case with IFAB, where you have to go through specific trainings and initiations in order for you to be able to pull the odus. So the benefits of working with the Chinese numerology and the Vedic numerology is that you don't have to initiate into anything, but you do have to take a lot of training, a lot of classes, because you do have to learn how to do the calculations. And sometimes that takes time to learn, and you continue to learn. I'm continuing to learn. I consider myself a baby when it comes to numerology, because I have so much to learn. And the more that I work with it, the more I'm like, this is mind blowing. So you know what I want to do? I'm going to show you my screen. And that way you're going to be able to see this video. I only saw the part that I want to show you because I wanted to see how I can give you information for those that don't know about the Lo-Shu magic square, so that you know what I'm talking about. But I don't have the time or the finances to put a video that is like, whoa. So the best next thing that I can do is actually show you this.
Originally, the 9 numbers were represented by dots, as you see on screen, with lines connecting them. This is a representation of the 9 palaces, Zhougonge, of the Lo-Shu magic square. By the way, notice how the even numbers are shaded in to signify yin, and the odd numbers remain light to signify yang. In a Han Dynasty text dated to 206 BC to 880, Dai the Greater's Book of Rites, Da Dai Li Ji,
and the reason why I found this video to be really good is because it gives you exactly the symbols that I wanted to show you, with the grid and the dragon, the phoenix, and so on, the lion and the turtle down here. But also the dates. They have been records of how back in time this goes. So if you're thinking, well, maybe the Yoruba influenced the Chinese, that is very debatable based on the timeline. But it could be either way. It doesn't matter, right?
Explains that the Lo-Shu magic square is assigned the numbers 1 through 9, with each of the 9 sectors envisioned as a chamber, and altogether, the 9 chambers are the Hall of Light, or Temple of Light. The Temple of Light with 9 halls consists of 4 gates: the dragon in the east, the phoenix in the south, the tiger in the west, and the tortoise in the north. These 4 gates of the 9 palaces align with the Si Shang, or faces, the 4 primordial affinities, permutations of yin and yang pairings. This is a premature stage of the cosmic order prior to the creation of the 8 trigrams. The center point of 5, where you see that cross, corresponds with the 5 changing phases, Lu-Xing, that spins in cycles, the spiral dance of creation, whereby the 4 faces demarcate 4 paths that these forces, driven and characterized by the 5 changing phases, expand out into the universe, the driver of change. If you've ever wondered where the term flying star feng shui came from, well, here you go. The 5 changing phases and the 4 faces of the Tao produce the 9 palaces of the Lo-Shu, which is essentially a nature-given calculator for determining the flow of qi and for harnessing qi. If you can harness qi in accordance with the Lo-Shu laws of nature, you can guide the pathways of fate and fortune. Now let's...
So this is if you want to watch the whole video, you can go find her, Benevel Wen. That this is her YouTube here. And I wanted to show that because it basically gives you a good indication of like all the possibilities of what can happen just with your name and date of birth that we can calculate. So it really is I just find all of this fascinating. We also, when we talk about the Lo-Shu, we talk about the different elements as well. So all of that is part of the calculation when we do numerology. And it can truly give us very good insights. I'm going to show you a report, a sample report. And this is what is included in the report. This is just an overview. We have the Western numerology, so the life path number, birthday number, expression, karmic lessons, challenges, personal years, essence years, and so on. All of this is calculated, and you have all of those numbers, like an overview of all of those numbers, and then an explanation. This is my nephew, his master number 11. As you all know, I'm also life path number 11. So anyways, it provides all of this explanation and so on. And then we can go to, that's the Western numerology. And then we can also have a year analysis and look at 2024 and so on. So we can go 5 years out when we do the analysis to see what's coming up for the next 5, like 4 or 5 years, however long normally 5 years is what we're looking at, 4 to 5 years. So it will give us the analysis, the challenge, the pinnacle number, analysis of the cycles of the life cycle, as well as the mental state, emotional, intuitive state, and then the explanation to go with that. So we go through those explanations, and you have time to, it's a pretty lengthy analysis. Then we go into the Chaldean numerology, and it also gives you pretty good understanding of what's happening based on the name that you were given, the date of birth, and what's coming up for the next couple of years. So you have access to that as well. And it also goes through giving you the analysis based on what's happening with the Chaldean grid. So here we have the explanations, and you can see it will give you the numbers that you have and the ones that are missing too, because the ones that are missing have a lot of information that you need to be aware of. And if you do a consultation, we will go over what's missing and how to work with that so that you can have more balance. Because, for example, if you're missing number 5, right, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs well, if you're missing number 4, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs. But if you're missing number 5, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs with communication. If you're missing number 6, you're probably going to have a lot of avoiding responsibility and you know, even business responsibility and so on. So it could be so many things, but giving you an overview of what can be done to balance that is crucial, so that you can have some relief. Because sometimes what we have, for example, I had a client, she didn't have number 4, and with number 4 and number 6 missing in her chart, she was going through a lot of ups and downs, but also not able to focus a lot of her energy. So every so often she would want to do something different because she wasn't able to focus and really prioritize some projects that were very important. So it's like we have to harness that energy that is missing too. Even though it's missing, that is part of the challenge, to know what's missing so that we can have more balance in life. Like if you're missing number 7, let's say, for example, this person didn't have number 7 here, that person is not going to be able to listen to their intuition, because we all know that number 7 is very intuitive. So that person is probably going to have a very hard time making decisions, and knowing that those decisions are okay, that you know, they can trust themselves to make those decisions. So this report will have all of that. Then we're going to go, let me just skip onto the Lo-Shu gray. So we have all of these planes, the willpower plane, practical plane, spiritual plane. And it's going to give you an overview. All of this is going to give you an overview of yourself, who you are, your emotional plane, mental plane. And also you will be able to see these numbers, how they average, and what does that mean for you. The spiritual plane here is actually good, even though it looks low, because the person is able to listen to their intuition. The problem is that it's too much sometimes. So especially with a lot of numbers here of number 2, super sensitive person. And then the third plane is also going to give you the numbers and give you an overview of what is missing here, right? So every number that is missing, we have to consider what we need to do in order for us to balance our energy better. As you can see here, with so many numbers 2, 2, 2, 2, 4 times, this person is going to have a lot of, it reminds, and remember, this person is also master 11. So this person is going to have a lot of non-physical energies interfering with his mind. And perhaps this person is going to need way more support, spiritual support, to make sure to balance his mind, including things to be done in the physical, like spiritual bath and so on, because it's too much energy of number 2 with a master number 11. So when we do a consultation, this is the things that we're looking for, to see what needs to be balanced, for sure. Let me see what else I wanted to show you. All of this is just going to give you an overview of what it means. You can see here, we go over what's missing and what does that mean, and we can also talk about how to balance that. If you just get in the report, you just get in the report, and you can do that on your own. Or if you're doing the consultation, we'll be able to prioritize what you want to work on so that we can use the time wisely, because this is a pretty lengthy report. We want to be able to prioritize what to go over. So let's see, anything else I want to show you. This is just an overview of the analysis. And I did want to show you the the years. There you go. This is a part that I care about the most, because it gives us we will know, okay, this is what I need to prioritize right now for 2024. What is the number that is coming up? What does it mean for me? And we can also even do it month by month in order for us to know, okay, this is a good month for us to do a huge investment, or maybe I need to back off and get ready for this month because this month is going to be potentially a little challenging. Maybe it has a lot of ups and downs, and I need to know how to balance that by being strategic. So this is an overview of the next few years, 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027. And then when you go over the numbers, one of the important things is to understand what is all of this meaning. So these numbers are going to be really good to go over. When also we go over this, one of the things that we need to be, because sometimes we need to look at the positive, but some of the things that we need to really look at also is the negative. What is it that I need to be aware of, and how I can change that? Because these things, I don't believe that they are, some people are going to say this is it, right? This is who you are. But I believe that when we become aware, we can start working on these negative characteristics of who we are, so that we can become better people. Because this is just a guideline so that we know what we need to be attentive to, but it's not the end. We need to be able to know that we can change based on the challenges that we bring forward. Okay, let's see if there was anything else that I wanted to show you. The Vasto Gray, I think I showed you that before. Yeah, the analysis. We can also, based on the name and the date of birth, also know, based on Ayurvedic terms, the analysis, your health analysis. And it's just a quick overview. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an Ayurvedic professional, alternative healer, or anything like that. But this is just an overview based on numerology. So if you want to go deeper into Ayurvedic health information, you want to find a doctor that specializes in that. This is just basic information based on Ayurvedic numerology. On the numerology, oh my God, my mouth is killing me. Okay, so here you'll see the parts of the body that needs to be attended to based on this life path and all the numbers that we pulled for this person. It's going to talk about the Vata, the Pitta, and all of that, the dosha, and all of that. And what you want to really, don't worry about the names. I know there's a lot of names that are different, but you want to pay attention to what is it telling you. You know, for my report, when I did my analysis, I was like, wow, I cannot believe that my infection came up in the Lo-Shu and the Vedic numerology, because I was just completely like, wow, blown away with that information. It's just crazy what numbers are capable of. And this just gives you things to be cautious. It's no, and this is general for anyone with those numbers. So you also want to be, discerning. Not everything in a report means it's 100% for you, because it's based on numbers, and we all, just like our fingerprints, everybody's going to be different, right? But this is just a general guideline that is more advanced than just Western numerology. So it's actually pretty cool to be able to see some of these things that are like, wow, I cannot believe that is there. So I just wanted to show you that. I think you get a really good idea of what is it that we are doing with numerology here. And for those that are going to be doing the consultations, you guys know that I don't normally have a lot of time, but I've been really feeling this major attraction to open up those services for numerology consultations, just because I think it's part of my next mission to really dive deep into these numbers and work side by side with people that are ready to do this type of, to have this type of understanding of who they are and some of the things that they can do. So yeah, this is basically what it is. If you order the report, you're just going to get the report. If you order the consultation as well, we're going to have a little bit of time to go through some of the major things that are extremely important based on the main intention for you wanting to do the reading. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.